On Friday, I sat in this exact spot after Ireland defeated Portugal 2-0, thinking it couldn't get any more crazy. Well, I tell you what, lads, it can. Hungary 2, Ireland 3, Ireland are through to the World Cup playoffs against all odds. I mean, I'm just so blown away. I mean, I didn't even get to watch the first half. I only actually watched the second half of the match. When I was away during the first half, I checked my phone early on and I was 1-0 Hungary, and I thought, oh, here we go. This is going to be typical Ireland and we're going to battle it here. I checked my phone about 30, 40 odd minutes later. I seen it was 2-1 and I was just thinking, what the hell is going on in this match? So thankfully I got home, and the second half overall was definitely a very hectic one, and I was very excited for just 1 second when I seen Alameda of the Hungarian goalkeeper anyway. I got very excited for just 1 second, but deep down I knew he was offside, and of course he was offside. And as the seconds and minutes were ticking away during the match, I was just starting to think, okay, maybe we're looking like we can maybe get a draw on this one, but a draw isn't going to be good enough here in Budapest. We have to win. I just couldn't see us winning as the minutes tick away. Troy Parrott, thankfully, gained us a bit of hope at 10 minutes ago, and still, we were knocking on the door. I was starting to build a bit more hope we could get a result, of course. However, I just still wasn't sure. I still was sort of sitting on the fence. My hope and expectation that we could get a winner from somewhere was growing as each minute did go on after Troy Parrott's equaliser. And I tell you what, lads, it came true. Troy Parrott with a hat-trick in Budapest, and the scenes there when he put that winner in was absolutely incredible. I didn't think we would see a game which would bring more joy to Ireland fans than that Portugal match on Thursday. That match there today in Budapest rivals that for sure. I mean, the entire country, when that goal went in, erupted in celebration. I mean, I can tell you now, I was in my living room, and when that goal went in, I went absolutely nuts. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. This match reaction, though, probably won't be as long as the other one, mainly because I only did see the second half, and honestly, it definitely was the better half of the two to see. So I'm not too sure if I should give player ratings. I was originally thinking I could give player ratings, but then I've just found myself giving the majority of players sixes because I didn't see enough of them to give a proper rating to them. So, I mean, I will give a few, maybe I will talk about a couple of players, but the majority of the team I just didn't see enough of to give a proper player rating. So I'm not really going to do my player ratings here in this one per se, but I will give a couple of ratings. So some players in particular who I thought definitely were standouts, and the subs too, and of course Heimir as the manager as well. So that's getting to them. Caoimhín Kelleher will start off with then 9 here in this one. Kelleher following up a outstanding performance against Portugal with yet another outstanding performance here in this one. Now I have watched back the goals in the first half. Obviously 2 which again weren't really his fault. I mean, the Barnabas Varga goal was an absolute banger. Yes, you can say it was poor defending, but that goal, what a screamer that was there to put Hungary 2-1 up. And the first goal, obviously, it was a corner. It was a point-blank header too. Not much you could do about that one either. But I did say, from brief highlights in the first half, he did make a decent double save, I do believe. So that definitely is good there. And in the second half too, some fantastic saves. And I think I do remember after Parrott's winner, Hungary did create a bit of a half chance there in the dying embers of the match. And I think Kelleher actually pulled off a decent save, which deflected the shot wide and out of into safety for Ireland too. So Kelleher here in this one. And also, among all the saves as well, the reason we are in the position we're in at the minute is because of Caoimhín Kelleher. And I say that because Troy Parrott doesn't score that goal without Caoimhín Kelleher. And maybe you're trying to just say, well, I'm just stating the obvious there, because obviously Caoimhín Kelleher is the player who lumps the ball into the box and Troy Parrott gets a leg onto it, of course, after I think maybe Liam Scales or someone headed it on. I'm not too sure who got the assist there. Kelleher very well could have got the assist. I'm just not too sure, lads. But Kelleher, I thought that distribution there in that one was fantastic once again. And it was summed up with that amazing ball into the box there. Just a Hail Mary. And of course, we took the high risk and we got a massive reward for it as well. So Caoimhín Kelleher here in this one, brilliant performance overall from what I could see. For me, I would give him a 9. And I wanted to mention the 2 fullbacks, the 2 wing backs. Liam Scales, I did get that wrong in the first video. I had Jake O'Brien down as left wing back and my player ratings instead of Liam Scales, so I do apologise for that. But Liam Scales was a sort of left wing back here in this one almost, and Seamus Coleman obviously was the right wing back. Both for me are deemed worthy enough to get 7s. I thought Scales in particular particular was actually pretty good. Definitely was, for me, our best defender here in this one. And Seamus Coleman, like I said on Friday, fine wine, of course. He is just 37 years of age, and he is still putting in massive shifts, game in, game out for Ireland too. I know he's not the captain anymore, but he is captain fantastic in that squad still. The man from Killybegs, Donegal, he deserves to go to a World Cup for Ireland. He deserves to be a part of a World Cup squad for Ireland, and hopefully now the playoffs go our way, and hopefully his dream can be delivered there. But Seamus Coleman here in this one, fantastic, as for Liam Scales as well. And the only other outfield player who started the match anyway, who I do think I've seen enough of to give a player rating to, is Troy Parrott. And obviously, if he's gotten the 10 against Portugal, he's gotten a 10 here against Hungary too, because that was once again a complete striker's performance. They're just cool as ice, composed here in this one. The penalty, such a high pressure penalty, early on in the match there, definitely was a make or break goal there. If he misses that, then the heads drop for Ireland for sure, even though it's only 15 minutes in the match. So there was such high stakes there for that penalty, but he slots it in coolly. That is fantastic there from Troy Parrott. The second goal then, of course, was a brilliant finish in past the goalie who does commit, and the same thing for the third goal too, for the hat-trick. I do believe actually the goalie almost as if he thought he was going to get the ball, but Troy Parrott, he sticks his boot out of nowhere, and just that little touch, that's all that ball needed to squeak over the finish line. The squeak past Debus, who definitely was a goalkeeper now. I do remember his name, Debus. So just enough touch to squeak past him in the back of the net. It's such a perfect goal. It's brilliant too, and it's fantastic movement, fantastic coordination from Troy Parrott too. And he deserves it, of course, back in the days in Spurs, all us Irish fans especially, we were excited. We thought he was destined for greatness. However, it was looking a bit sort of in the dumps a wee bit, I guess you could say. After Spurs didn't really give him much of a chance, but he's completely redeveloped himself. He's rebirthed himself out in the Netherlands, especially with AZ Alkmaar, and so that he just carried that for him on into Ireland here in this one. And I believe, the Evan Ferguson injury, even though, it's not good to see a player get injured, and Evan Ferguson especially, it's not good to see him get injured. But for me, that definitely could have been a bit of a blessing in disguise, because if Evan Ferguson didn't get injured, Troy Parrott wouldn't have started these matches. Simple as that, of course. However, Troy Parrott is a better player than Evan Ferguson, in my opinion. He's much more of a complete striker, in my opinion, and he's much more likely to score goals than Evan Ferguson too. So, definitely a blessing in disguise for not only Troy Parrott, but perhaps for this team as well, to unlock its near enough full potential as well. So once again here, Troy Parrott, hat-trick hero in Budapest, definitely now for sure. This past 3 days is going to go down in Irish folklore, and it's because of that man up top. More days, please, from Troy Parrott. Hopefully now, after the international break, he continues his amazing form with AZ in the Eredivisie, and hopefully then come March time for the two big playoff matches for the World Cup, he delivers once again on the stage, whether it's in the Aviva or it's in Italy or Windsor Park for all we know, or Kosovo, wherever these matches are. Hopefully Troy Parrott does the same as he always does, deliver on the big stage, and hopefully he is the man up top who can guide us to the States this summer. Some of the subs then definitely had a bit of more of an impact compared to Thursday night. Festi Abasela, it was a bit of a mixed bag from him once again here, but I actually thought he gave a lot of energy to the side here in this one, and as the game to develop on, he started to improve his game. So I give Festi a 7 here in this one. I thought, especially in injury time, his work rate, his intensity to just keep on going, it definitely helped us get the ball up the pitch, win some brilliant throw-ins as well there, and that definitely helped us create some chances, cause a bit of chaos in the box too, and ultimately, of course, the chaos in the box is how we scored that winner, of course, in the 96th minute as well. So for me, Festi Abasela was brilliant in creating a bit of madness here in this game. So for me, I'll give him a 7. As well as that, then Ryan Manning too. I think he's a brilliant passer of the ball, especially long field, and brilliant acrosses too. And I think, his long balls into the box definitely also, they contribute to the chaos as well. So for me, Ryan Manning also deserving of a 7. Adamida will give a 6 too. He just didn't get involved in the game too much. Brilliant finish for his goal, by the way. Unfortunate to just narrowly definitely be offside too. But I still do like Alameda. I still do think he's a very useful super sub to have. But here in this one, it just wasn't going his way. Brilliant goal, however, unfortunate to be offside. But here in this one, I'm happy enough to give him a 6. Same can be said for Johnny Kenny, making his Ireland debut here in this one. The man from Sligo, he's been in brilliant form so far this season for Celtic as well. Brilliant to see Johnny Kenny playing for Ireland, of course, and he had a big chance there in injury time as well. Just unfortunate with that one. But still, I do believe, the future for Ireland, especially in the striker position, is blessed with Evan Ferguson, of course, Troy Parrott, Alameda too, I still got plenty of faith in, and now Johnny Kenny as well. There's 4 strikers who can all be top quality in the future. So definitely set up for a decent future there in the striker position, in my opinion. And Jack Taylor then, you know what, let's give Jack Taylor a 7. Why not? I thought when Taylor come on in the midfield, with Malumbi and Cullen in the midfield, I just wasn't too sure. I thought Hungary were breaking through us a bit too much from what I seen. But I think Jack Taylor really did stabilise the midfield and helped us, gain a foothold in this one big time. So for me, Taylor, and finish off with the subs, we'll get a 7. And to finish off then, Heimir Hallgrimsson, we'll have to give him a 9 here in this one. Ultimate Heimir ball here in this one. Some might even call it Haram ball. I will call it Heimir ball because, for the majority of his campaign and stint as Ireland manager, the majority of the country has been critical of him, and rightly so, of course, because the results, as of recently, up until this international break, have not been good enough whatsoever. And I think after September, when we drew at home to Hungary in a must-win match, and then we'd lost 2-1 in Yerevan against Armenia too, nobody would have even given us a hope of being in this position we are in. However, he has managed to finally get his philosophy clicking in this Ireland team. He seems to have found his best 11 as well, and he seems to have found the perfect game plan for this Ireland team to go into, especially against teams who are either sort of in around our level or above our level, like Portugal, for example, because these 2 games have been absolutely tactical masterclasses here in this one. He is totally outminded Roberto Martinez on Thursday night, and now as well Marco Rossi. Yeah, he just drags teams down to our level to play football, of course, and it's not like we just park the bus, sit back. Yes, we do sort of sit back, but it's not like we park the bus really, because once we do get possession, we do use long ball quite a lot, and that, of course, is the Ireland way of playing, of course, and that's the way we're going to see success, of course, because the way of Ireland, even back to Jack Charlton, when we seen most of our success, and Mick McCarthy too, we were a long ball team. Get it up to the big men up top, and they will score goals. Heimir has reverted back to that sort of philosophy, and it's doing wonders for us so far. And of course, when we are in possession, we do play good football at times as well. So he definitely is finally getting his philosophy clicking for this Ireland team. Definitely proven so far in November in the international break, and hopefully then now he'll definitely have his contract extended at least to March anyway for the big playoff fixtures for the World Cup, and hopefully his philosophy continues to click, and hopefully he can deliver World Cup football to this brilliant nation for the first time since 2002. But yeah, of all teams to defeat 3-2 away from home with a Troy Parrott hat-trick, especially with the winner in the 96th minute, it is brilliant for it to be Hungary. There's no harm to any Hungarians watching this video, of course. However, during the match as a whole, and even in the build-up too, plenty of their fans online giving stick to Ireland, saying, bantering us at any possible chance they get, of course. And then even when we beat Portugal, they were saying, oh, we're going to wait for you in Budapest. Wait till you see what we do to you in Budapest. You didn't do too much to us, lads, did you? Of course. And Hungary, I noticed it during the match in the Aviva too, and even in this one in Budapest as well, there's such a, I guess the right word would be a cheating team, I guess you could say, because, the referee, at least for the first half, I do believe, and for a bit of the second half anyway, looked extremely biased towards Hungary. He was giving them every little decision in their favour, of course, and plenty of divers there, like Kirk is, and, that guy, Roland Saleh, I think it was, and Dominic Szoboszlai diving, of course, as well. And of course, from a United perspective, it is brilliant, especially to see Dominic Szoboszlai, those 2 screenshots of him, sort of bantering Ireland after Hungary's second goal, to then the full-time whistle, he's on the ground, he's distraught. It's brilliant to see. It is karma at its finest too, and that is fantastic to see as well. However, the heads need to go down now. The job is not finished. It has been one of the greatest weeks in Irish football history, I guess you could say, because these 2 results, defeating Portugal at home and winning away to Hungary in Budapest in that fashion too, that's unprecedented. Nobody would have predicted that before the international break. Nobody would have predicted that on Wednesday or last week, for example. So it's been brilliant, lads. However, the job is not done. The playoffs are coming up in March then. Massive, massive stuff. I think the draw for that is this Thursday coming, so definitely all eyes will be on UEFA in Switzerland. I think it will be the draw at 12 o'clock Irish time too. So looking forward to that one, of course, and the possibilities of who we get in the draw could be endless. We could get someone as big as Italy, or possibly, against all odds, even Germany if they somehow lose to Slovakia and drop down in the playoffs too. We could also get another team from the British Isles, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. Imagine Ireland playing Northern Ireland for a place in the World Cup. That would be absolute cinema. And of course, regardless if it was in the Aviva or the Windsor Park, it would be a brilliant match for sure, and the atmosphere, I'm sure, would be fantastic too. Or we could even get someone like Kosovo, or Sweden, or North Macedonia. There's a wide array of different teams in there, of course. So only time will tell, of course, who we do get in the draw, but hopefully we get a favourable draw, because after these two results, the motivation, the belief in the Ireland squad definitely will be sky high, and hopefully that retains by the time March rolls around. So when we do come up against teams who we should be beaten, who would be considered a favourable draw for us, we are capable of winning these matches. So hopefully all goes well, and hopefully by March time we have a place in the World Cup after winning 2 playoff matches in the space of a few days. And hopefully, lads, we'll be getting the passports ready, the flights booked for the States, Canada and Mexico as well. Anyway, lads, it's going to end today's Ireland v Hungary match reaction. I hope you all enjoyed it, of course. What do you think about the match today? How crazy was it? Let me know in the comments below. As always, lads, remember to like the video, subscribe if you're new, click the bell, and share this to as many people as possible. And so then, lads, I'll see you all in the next one here on KDFG.